Welcome to episode 225 of the official Gamestitch Podcast. I'm Ryan Walton. As always, I'm joined by Dan Reamer.
Who?
Matt Bowden.
Who?
Thank
Mike
you
Jones.
for having me.
Always Mike Jones.
Always Mike Jones.
What happened to that guy?
Who dat?
Died.
Did he die?
I don't know. I just said it. Let's find out.
Remember, he was everywhere there for a little while.
Yeah. Not now.
I remember high school kids walking around being like Mike Jones and other people being like, who? He just fell off the grid hard.
Him.
What the hell? So I type in, is Mike Jones dead? And the first thing is Mike Jones dead 2017.
Oh.
I don't think he's dead.
Rapper killed by internet death hoax.
Okay. So not dead then.
So he's not dead then.
Yeah, that literally just happened. I was making a joke. I hadn't heard nothing about this. It says, however, May 2017 report has now been confirmed as a complete hoax and the rapper is not dead. Just
his career is.
Blah, blah. Just everything else.
Yeah, just his career and his dreams and the idea that he'd ever have another song on the radio.
Right. I appreciate us being like right in the stream of like celebrity gossip unknowingly. That's very timely of us.
See, the thing is, he doesn't even qualify because had he been celebrity, he'd be on TMZ and I would have known that.
Right.
So I don't even qualify him as celebrity.
So Mike Jones, no ASAP Rocky. That's for sure.
Let's see.
That's true. I can confirm that. The U.S. bobsledder died.
I know.
You see that? It's sad.
I did.
Maybe it's not sad. I don't know the guy.
So
but
did
it seems sad.
big character actor. A bunch of character actors died this week too.
Like who?
I can't remember any of their names.
That's cool.
I also want to give a special shout out to my boy Ryan Seacrest, who's about to get a lot more money.
Oh my God.
Oh, yeah. He's getting on there with Kelly Ripa. I heard about that.
Not just that, but ABC is now bringing back American Idol already, and they're trying to get him to be the host.
That dude never stops working.
Oh, man, they were talking. So, Dan will appreciate this whole story.
Oh, I'm sure I will, no doubt.
I'm ready.
So, they shoot live in New York. They shoot American Idol in L.A., and so the first thing ABC said was, can you move it to New York and have Seacrest host? And they're like, absolutely not, but you should have Seacrest host. So this dude would have to, like, sleep on a plane coming back from American Idol and then drive straight to the studio to shoot Kelly. And then go straight back to the airport and fly back. Film Idol, then get straight back on a plane, sleep on the plane, and go straight into do Kelly again.
I bet he does it, too.
I bet he does, too, because that's the kind of guy he is. And they'll just... dump trucks of money will just park in his driveway.
I hope Mark Consuelos beats the shit out of him.
Who beats the shit out of him?
Mark Consuelos.
Oh, that's fine.
Why would he do that?
It's Kelly's husband.
They'll totally get down three-way style.
Oh, it's odd. No.
Now, am I crazy or was Christian Slater on there with Kelly for like a month?
Everybody co-hosted with her, I feel like, except for him. Except for Seacrest.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure Christian Slater was on there the last time I saw.
Maybe.
I don't really watch
Was
that
that
show.
a train wreck?
No, it was fine. He was typical coked up Christian Slater.
I love me some Christian Slater.
Yeah.
Gleaming
That
the
dude.
Cube is one of the greatest movies ever made.
Do you think that show gets enough money to... Like, does it make that much money for ABC?
Oh,
What?
yeah.
Idol?
Live?
Live? I don't know.
Live, yeah, dude. Yeah, for sure.
An American Idol is Fox, right?
Was.
Yeah,
Was.
it's ABC now.
Yeah, ABC.
Okay.
That thing's all a disaster, too. Everybody put a bid in for it. They rejected them all. Then ABC came back, and then as it got close, Fox made a last-ditch effort to try to get it and failed, and it looks like ABC's got it now. But everybody was saying Seacrest is going to host except for him.
What happened to Strahan?
He left
went
a while
to
ago. You don't remember that whole
Today.
fiasco?
Yeah.
What happened? Now, why would I remember that?
Apparently nobody told Kelly that old Strahan wasn't going to be on no more.
ABC poached Strahan from ABC.
Right.
Yeah, he's on Good Morning America or Today or whichever one comes on that station.
But they
Good
didn't
Morning
tell her
America.
about it.
But they
Right.
didn't tell her about it.
But like everyone else knew. Except for her.
He didn't tell her about it?
No, they didn't feel like she needed to know.
It was just.
There's also some reports that maybe they didn't get along great.
Yeah.
Gotcha. I can't imagine anybody not getting along with Michael Strahan.
However, we can neither confirm nor deny.
He seems lovable.
Yeah. Ricky's in love with him. She thinks he's the greatest thing ever.
Yeah, he seems real lovable. Kelly seems like a real big old bitch, which is
I don't know,
fine.
she might be awesome. We should get her on the show.
Yeah, we'll reach out to her and see what happens
yeah.
around here. We got a better chance at getting a Strahan on the show, I think.
Wow.
We got the best chance of getting old Mark Consuelos.
Yeah, you're right. We got a better chance. He's not doing anything else right now.
He's just rolling around
That's
in
not
all
true.
of
He's
Rissa's
on
money.
Riverdale.
Like I said, he's not doing anything else right now.
Dude, that show is popping. I haven't watched it. It's not my kind of show. But that show is bringing in major ratings for CW.
Yeah. I think you really summed it up right there in that last.
CW.
Yeah, that
Oh,
part.
don't you ever knock the CW. I will stomp both your dicks in the
You
dirt.
know how I feel about the CW.
It had about 6 months where I thought they might actually do something nice, and then it turned into a shit show again.
My wife loves that show. Or loves that station, I should
channel?
say.
Yeah.
Channel. She loves it. You know what she's watching right now on Netflix that you would think I would like it, but I can't fucking stand it?
Yeah?
The
What?
Client List. Have you heard of this show?
Never even seen it on Netflix.
Okay. Jennifer Love Hewitt, her husband runs off. She plays this Southern girl, and it's like a Lifetime thing. She plays this Southern girl, but it's a TV series. She plays this Southern girl in Texas with 2 kids and a husband. Her husband runs off. She needs to make ends meet. She's a massage therapist, so she goes to this place, and she ends up giving handies as well.
I like it. I like it.
But then she
Jennifer
also
Love Hewitt
helps
handies?
these
Yeah.
guys with. It doesn't show the handies. No, it's Lifetime.
Oh.
But it's all about her hiding
What
it
the fuck?
and make sure like the important people don't find out. And it's just it's a horrible. My wife loves it. It's a horrible show. She's starting to fall in love with her husband who ran off brother, and it makes me want to punch myself in the face.
Has she been giving him handies?
No.
Does he know that she's giving other dudes handies?
No, I told you she's trying.
there's
She's
the
keeping
conflict.
it from everybody.
There's the conflict.
No, it's fine. Handies don't count.
Everything counts, dude.
No, you can freely give handies.
Oh, but this is Texas though. This is Beaumont,
Yeah,
you
especially
Texas.
in Texas.
You can freely give handies, but then you can't expect, respectable dude to be like, hey, just keep jacking other dudes off. It's fine. We can
Yeah,
date.
it's fine. It's just your hand.
And I did not realize the amount of money that people will tip to receive a hand job.
Right? Like, I get one of those for free almost every day, dude.
Yeah, I get myself
Like-
one pretty often.
Right?
Yeah, dude. Like, who's paying for that?
That's where I
Yeah.
was going. I'm pretty sure that's where Matt was going too.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you could let anyone give a handy. Just give them a ball of Purell and it's fine. That's all.
Anybody?
Yeah. Yeah. Anybody. Well, I mean, not. I'm saying anybody could give one. You're not cheating by handies.
God, I thought you were like.
I'm pretty sure you are.
I thought you meant I'll let anybody give me a handy. That's how
I'm
it
pretty
came
sure-
out.
I'm pretty sure touching anybody else's genitals is cheating.
No, handies check out for sure. They're fine.
No, they don't, dude.
I don't know.
Yeah,
Now here's the
just like-
thing. Here's the thing, though. If in a certain sense you're correct, however,
Right.
I think it's situational.
Yeah, I feel like you're going to get in less trouble if you let somebody give you a handy, but you're still cheating. And if you're giving somebody a handy, like
That's fine
you're,
too.
I think you're going to get yelled at, but like
For what?
still cheating.
Well, here's the
For
thing.
touching somebody else's junk.
There's
dummy.
some people out there who feel
fine.
there's people out there that feel that kissing someone else is cheating. If that's the case, then the handies probably definitely don't fit into
Yeah.
it's okay mold.
Yeah, I think cheating is being in an intimate situation with anybody else.
That's what
Yeah.
I think too.
There's
Yes.
nothing
Yeah.
less intimate than a handy.
That's true, but
Yeah, exactly.
it's
fine.
true. But I still feel here's what I propose. Ryan, you test the theory and get back to us.
Fine. I don't mind a little market research. It's
Oh my
fine.
god. Oh Jesus.
So I've got an update on Mac tonight.
All right, I can't wait.
I know. Also, I want to give a shout out to Garrett Wade, who I talked to last night for a long time on PlayStation, and who said, "Don't ever talk about Mac tonight again."
Did he?
on
All
the
right,
podcast.
this is for you, Garrett.
This is for you, Garrett. And I told him the story last night, so not only does he get to hear it, he got to hear it twice. So McDonald's ran this promotion to give out this fork.
Oh,
the fork.
no. Don't stop
God
with the fucking
damn
fork.
it.
Hold on. Well, it ties in, though.
I don't care anymore.
It does tie in. So if you haven't seen this, just Google it. Anyways, I needed one of these. I needed to be the owner of one of these. So only one McDonald's in town had it. I drove over there. They only had 40 of them. I was lucky enough to get one. But as I was leaving the store, they're a 24-hour location. The sign that says 24 hours has Mac Knight's head on it still.
Is it the one down on Riverside?
Madison Street. It still has the moon head on the sign that says open 24 hours. He's just in the corner being like a fucking creep. And it's fantastic. And if I used social media, I would have put that up there. Because it looked really good and it was really timely. That's how I knew I was supposed to get the Frork. Because it was a sign.
Frork.
Yeah.
How stupid.
Yeah, we've discussed that. All we
Dan's
need to
real
this week.
jealous about the Frork.
Oh, I don't know. Jealous is the right word.
Yeah.
I know it's not the right word.
It's
It is.
stupid, but I understand why you need it.
It's supposed to be stupid. Like, if they were serious about it, it would be terrible. But when you go out and get the OxyClean guy and you film an infomercial for something that's clearly... And it says on it, like, it's mostly useful. Like, they understand that it's a joke.
Yeah.
That's what makes it good. And then they're limited. And you know that's where I get down.
That's where you're in. Only so
Yeah.
many available.
40 in Clarksville. That was it.
So
One of 40.
So you got to have one. Doesn't matter if it's... you're like, God.
So here's the thing. It's for their new combo, which I probably would have tried anyways because that's what I do.
Yeah.
And by doing it that day, you got free drink and free fries, so you only paid for the
Sandwich?
entree item. So I ate for $5 and got the Frork.
So what was this combo? What's this new combo?
So you pick your flavor, then you pick your protein, then you pick your bread.
Your flavor.
Yeah, so they have like honey barbecue, something like that. It's got the onion straws on it, barbecue sauce. There's another one that's got guac and some other stuff on it, and then there's like a mango bacon thing.
That is nothing I want from McDonald's.
So you
ever.
pick the flavor, then you pick either grilled chicken, fried chicken, or hamburger. And then you pick your bread for it, and they've got a couple different options there, too. It's sort of like their signature, handcrafted
Gotcha.
signature collection.
So they have like a good brioche? A good brioche bun?
I think they have a...
ciabatta.
No, they don't have... I actually think they do have brioche. I don't think they have ciabatta. They have that, and maybe it's just a sesame seed for the other.
Brioche is
remember
pretty standard for your burgers and chicken
There's
sandwiches.
only two
That's-
options
That's a
for-
pretty good go-to.
So it's white bread or white bread, basically, though.
Well, I mean, those are the only real options anyways.
I guess so, yeah.
But, yeah, it was... I got grilled chicken. It wasn't good. But I could not have eaten anywhere for $5 and got the Frork.
Why'd you get grilled
You can eat
chicken?
it.
You just told us, last week or 2 weeks ago that you never eat chicken out.
Yeah.
Because I was like, maybe this is the one. It looks like they're spending some time on it.
You can get more food than you can eat for $5 at Taco Bell.
They hand me this, not the way I eat. I can't go to Taco Bell for less than $11 usually.
Jeez.
Because I don't want just a fucking taco like I'm poor.
Two
Sorry for
$5
everybody that
boxes.
eats tacos.
Right.
I get the
So
same
I-
thing when I go to Taco Bell every time.
I get a combo and then I usually add something to it.
I get a double D.
Yeah. I mean,
Chicken
they're
with a
fine.
Mountain Dew.
Whatever
course-
the
of course
$5
you do.
box is, that's what I get, and then I eat half of it.
We know that's not true.
Yeah, it is.
And then you finish the other half. Is that the rest of that story?
Yeah, later. Yeah, like 5 minutes later, I finish the
Yeah.
rest of it.
So I got this chicken, and as soon as I open the box, I'm like, whoops, mistake. It's about the color of my flesh. It's got some artificial grill marks on it.
Right, the painted ones that they paint on or whatever.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
I love
it's
that,
got those.
yeah.
And as soon as you take a bite, well, I mean, you're aware anyways, but as soon as you take a bite, you're ultra aware that this is processed and that every grilled patty coming out of that place looks just like yours.
Yeah.
And
Did it have
so I
that
was like, that's
slimy
fine.
feel? Did it have that slimy feel?
Not really. It didn't have that, but it was just
That's
gross.
right. That's why I won't eat grilled chicken out anywhere.
So I took
That
3
slimy
more
feel.
bites, and I was like, you know what? The barbecue sauce is good. The cheese is nice and melted.
And I
I'm
got
fucking
a
done
fucking
with this.
fork.
Oh, dude, it's worth it for the Frork. I'd have paid $5 for the Frork.
You should have done that. You should have got the combo and then just tell them, go ahead, throw that away from me. I'm just here for the Frork.
Yeah, the fries were on point too. They just brought them up. They were hot.
Ooh.
McDonald's fries are good no matter what. You could get the shit ones at the end of the night, and they're still good.
These were on point. Like I went inside to ensure I got the Frork.
I
And,
like Burger
I
King's fries better.
You're out of your
yeah,
fucking mind.
Not me.
I do. Dip them
I don't
in
like
the,
Burger King at all. They
I
can
get
shut
the
down Burger King
ranch
tomorrow.
I get the ranch dipping sauce and dip. Oh yeah.
At Burger
Yeah.
King, I get the onion rings. I don't get the fries because I don't like their fries.
I get the onion rings sometimes. I'll get the onion
The
rings
onion rings
with
are
the
good. With the onion ring sauce.
With the onion ring sauce.
Zesty.
Zesty sauce.
Wendy's, Chick-fil-A, and Taco Bell are the only things that need to exist.
Chick-fil-A got
disagree.
really good fries. Dip them in that.
Chick-fil-A is ridiculous now, though. We went on, I guess, yesterday we went, and at about 11:30 in the morning, they had shut down the parking lot, put out road cones, and they had about 18 employees standing outside directing traffic and taking orders. This is the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen. Like, they can't just let their drive-through function. They have to put, instead of just leaving their staff inside to make food and take orders, they send them all outside to talk with all the people who are in line. I can't figure out what Chick-fil-A's end game is other than to just hold people up and make it ridiculous.
They're doing the work
one
of God,
here.
bro. Doing the work of God.
Yeah, the one here is
Yeah.
attached to Chipotle, which equals no parking.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah.
Right there on the
Because
corner.
those two
Jesus.
locations separately have no parking, and then when you combine them,
Dude, there was no
There's-
parking there when it was a Chinese restaurant that no one went to.
so everybody just drives in and then drives it to a fucking circle waiting for somebody to back out. So it's just like 30 cars all driving in a circle trying to get a parking spot.
Nobody thinks about parking anywhere else.
There's nowhere else to park.
There isn't anywhere.
You can park on that street right there. That,
Oh, no.
Nuh-uh.
Yeah.
I mean, you can if you want to get your car hit.
Right, that's...
If
Yeah.
enough people park.
Because you got
If you
people
don't give a
trying to
shit.
turn out of the gas station, and you got the apartment complex right down there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you just go down, like you're going down towards the apartment complex and just park between there and the Comfort Inn or whatever it
You
is.
could park
No.
in one of the
La Quinta.
hotels, I guess, but...
Yeah, there's a Best Western just like down the
Trust
hill.
me, if you're
There's something I've stayed there
If
before.
you're getting ready to go eat at Chipotle or Chick-fil-A...
You ain't walking. You're right, brother.
Walking's not a thing that you do much.
I'll need two.
You're right.
I'll need
Probably
two
can't.
burrito bowls if I have to make that hike.
Right.
I mean, one's
Like
not
8
going to...
days worth of food.
Yeah.
After burning all those calories, you got to
Yeah.
recarb.
You got to put in what you take out. So that's not going to happen. I want to be able to pull into the place that I'm going to dine at. I want to be able to walk in. I want to be able to slap my $7.95 down and walk out with a big bowl, a fat ass bowl of food.
I'll tell you what I hate, but where I eat once a week now is Cookout. I love Cookout because for $5 I get more food than I can eat, but I hate it because for 5 days I can't stop pooping.
Cookout is one of those places that peaked way too soon with me. The first time I had Cookout, I'm like, this place is revolutionary.
Are you telling me I can get a hot dog and a corn dog and a corn dog and a drink for $3?
Who has a
Awesome.
quesadilla as a side?
Yeah, brother. A corn dog and a quesadilla as sides, and you
Yeah.
get to pick two? Are you fucking telling me I can have a corn dog
All
and a
of it.
quesadilla
But
with my
then-
spicy chicken sandwich?
When you eat Cookout the second time, you're like, you know what? This food's not really that good.
They wow you with the price the first time.
And then you eat it the third time and the fourth time. And by like the 10th time, you're like, I don't even know if I like it here.
Kind of like
Yeah,
that.
we-
Kind of like Backyard Burger.
No.
No, Backyard's still pretty good.
Yeah,
it's just
kinda like-
overpriced now.
Kind of like if you made Backyard as cheap as fucking possible.
Gotcha. Now, you guys don't have... Taco Bell is the only fast food Mexican place for you guys,
we don't
right?
have like Del Taco or anything.
You don't
we
have
have
like
Taco-
Del Taco or Taco Tico or
Taco Del
Mighty
Mar.
Taco. Any of those,
Yeah,
right?
I wish we had Del Taco.
See, we have
don't.
Mighty
We have Jack in
Taco.
the
We have
Box.
Mighty Taco up here, and it's the best.
Jack in
No.
the Box tacos.
Jack in the Box got some sort of crazy combo, too. It's like a burger, fries, a drink, 2 tacos for like $1.97 or something.
Yeah. Dude, you add 2 tacos to anything at Jack in the Box for like a cent.
Yeah, I'm like, how are y'all making money? I do
Jack
like
in the
their
Box taco
tacos.
is a revolution because it is somehow a soft and crispy taco shell because it's a crunchy taco shell that the grease from like halfway down has made soft again.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's just beef and lettuce and a slice of American cheese. And I swear their taco sauce is ketchup. And it's incredible.
Well, they fry it with the meat in there, I think.
I can eat 1,000 of them.
Oh, they
think
fry
that's
the
how that
taco. They just put everything in and then fry it.
Pretty sure.
Yeah,
That's
yeah, I'm
fucking
pretty sure.
genius, right there.
They put the paper that it's in, they fry that with it too because it's impossible to get out of there.
I think that's so. My stepmom is from Arizona, and she makes tacos that way. Like, she takes the soft shell, puts the meat in there, puts the cheese on it, folds it up, and then drops it in hot grease. And it comes out like a Jack in the Box taco.
That's
why
awesome.
I think it's done that way, because it tastes just like that.
Yeah, is it delicious?
Yeah, they're pretty good, but if you want a taco, that's not what you want, probably.
Right. No,
Yeah.
probably.
But sometimes you just want those things, and they're good too.
Yeah.
But like, if I want a taco, I want like a taco.
Does Jack in the Box still do those like midnight stoner boxes where they just put like cheese and French fries and hamburger meat together?
I don't know.
Those things
The Jack
were
in the
awesome.
Box here is on the wrong side of town.
Yeah.
Don't really go over there.
There's not one here anymore. I used to live about a block from one in Nashville, and they did these things like at midnight. You could go in and they would have, it's just a box of whatever was left over from the day. So it'd be like a chicken sandwich, a pile of lettuce, half French fries, half curly fries, and like some cinnamon swirly bun things. And you're like, all right.
Is there still
$2
is
or
Hastings
something.
still over there?
No, they
Didn't
went out of
Hastings
business.
shut down? Yeah, the whole business.
Yeah, they're like still in the fucking rack.
Yeah.
They sell everything.
Love that store.
That was a good store.
You're better off just remember it how it was.
Guess
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to.
Yeah. Now it's just a big empty building next to a Planet Fitness.
Ooh, Planet Fitness.
Oh no!
Yeah.
Don't they still have the indoor flea market there or whatever?
No,
That-
it's Planet Fitness.
Oh, there's a Planet Fitness there now.
That place
Yeah.
that had that Mario trunk that you always
About the
wanted.
Dollar General.
Yeah. Still there. That is not going anywhere.
Food Line still there?
Yeah, Food Line's still open too. That thing's
That's awesome.
the national treasure, that Food Line.
It's
Every
the
time I go
last
by,
standing
there's
Food
like,
Line.
there's like 4 people there, and I'm like, how do they stay open?
And the Goodwill.
Goodwill's still there. The Queen City Beauty College still there.
That's never going anywhere.
And there's the Ollie's is over there now, which is kind of like a cheaper
Dude,
Big Lots.
Ollie's is awesome.
Oh, Ollie's
Yeah.
Discount Outlet. Yeah.
Yeah, it's over
Yeah.
there now.
Ollie's is a thing from Dan's neck of the wood
Yeah.
that has just now made it down here.
Yeah.
Ollie's is great. Ricky tuned me into Ollie's before they were here, and then one day we're driving around and there's just an Ollie's. It popped up overnight. You go in there and buy like books and blankets and
I don't go
water
in there and buy
bottles.
anything, but
We
I've
just-
been in
they
there
got
a couple times.
If it got a misprinted label, it's at Ollie's.
We just got a Runnings, which is
Is it
similar to
Like
a,
Hastings.
it's similar to a Rural King.
Is it cool?
Oh, do they have popcorn?
They sell. Yeah.
Oh, they don't give it away?
Oh, I don't know. I didn't look for it when I was there, but it's got they did
Gotcha.
got hunting stuff,
You got baby
farming
chicks.
stuff, clothes, kayaks,
Rural
camping
King
things.
is it?
Yup. Tractors.
Rural King's a
lawnmowers.
prize, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, Rural King's great.
Rural King's real good.
The Ace Hardware's in Chattanooga here. They're all owned by the same family, Elders. So it's all Elders Ace Hardware. And they do popcorn like Rural King does.
Elders.
It's awesome.
Are the elders in
Elders.
the zone? Haha, get it?
I don't. Mm-mm.
No
No, I
one's
don't
going to
get
enjoy
it.
that joke because everybody skipped over my Cool Runnings joke. So fuck it. So I said, is it cool after you said it's called Runnings? And everybody let that slide.
I didn't hear it. My brain blocked it out because it was so bad.
That's a good ass joke.
It's not.
That's top notch stuff. Or at least in my head it was.
Yeah.
It's timely because of the bobsledder's death.
Uh-huh.
Right.
It kind of all brings it back.
Cool
It doesn't, though.
Runnings.
I mean, it kind of does. If this is your first time here, welcome. This is the official Gamestitch Podcast, where this group of best friends get together and talk about video games and all the things that revolve around video games, and we wrap it up in the bullshit you've been listening to for the last 30 minutes or so, and that is the dumpster fire, or the dumpster fire,
A dumpster
as it
fire.
turns out. Like, I like dumpster fire because I don't know what it is. It sounds sounds new.
Dumped her. You dumped her.
Yeah. I see what you did. The
See what
dumpster fire.
Yeah.
Like a fire sale all her shit because you dumped her.
Exactly.
That's not bad.
No.
Remember, this show posts every Monday, 6 a.m. Central Standard Time on podcast services around the world. And if you want to support this show and this dream that we have, head over to patreon.com/GameStitch and toss a couple bones on there. No worries, this show will always be free if you can't donate. I think that's everything. We should probably now talk about video games because we haven't done that
I
yet.
guess so. We can try.
We haven't. We're just
hasn't.
talking about your stupid fucking fork.
I'll tell you that there's very few times in my life I felt like you were truly jealous. The Frork was one of them. Because you immediately attacked me for getting the Frork.
Because it's so fucking stupid, not because it's cool and I want one.
And then I had to send you the jelly picture back because that's how I felt
know what
about
you did.
the way you were being.
And then I sent you memes back too. So
I love a good meme fight. It's one of my favorite things to do. A meme fight is where it's at for me.
Why are you soaking wet?
Because I think no one gets, like, there's never a level of tension with a meme fight.
No, because you're almost anticipating the response.
It's still stupid, right?
Because you want to see what dumb thing's coming back.
Right, it's stupid no matter what's happening.
Yeah.
And I can get behind a good meme fight, so I enjoyed that, actually. And that jelly picture I sent you made my whole day. Because it's so fucking creepy.
It was weird.
Yeah, it was good. But I could tell you were truly heartbroken that you didn't get one.
Oh, yeah, I sure was.
I need to post a picture of that thing in all its glory. I'll never open it because I don't want to taint it.
Uh-huh.
You're not even going to use it?
No, it's stupid.
That's... It's even stupider to buy it, not open it, and put some French fries in it.
Free with purchase.
Oh, my God.
Free with purchase. Sounds like someone else is jealous.
Yeah.
I couldn't give a shit. I just think it's retarded to buy it and not open it.
Ryan,
like
I don't think you understand how social cues work.
I do. I'm picking up a lot of jealousy.
I don't think you will. No, it's not jealousy. You dumb fuck.
And then you're defensive about the fact that you're jealous. I get it. I feel it
all these years, all this time I've known you, I thought you were intelligent, and here you're revealing yourself to be a fucking moron.
What's the problem with the Frork? What's really... Do you have fork issues?
It's stupid.
From way back?
It's a waste of time, money.
It's supposed to be stupid.
It does not make anything more efficient at all. It's useless.
Here's how I'm going to end it.
The Frork is fine. The problem is not opening it and putting some French fries in it and using it.
It works
You
better than
wouldn't
Mass
know.
Effect.
You wouldn't know.
It works better than Mass Effect.
You
That's all. That's how I want to
know.
end this.
This is
wouldn't
true.
know.
Yeah. It's less broken than Mass Effect.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, you haven't used it, so you don't know.
I've seen people use it.
You haven't used it.
You haven't used it.
I don't need to.
I've seen people play Mass Effect, too.
It was broken every time. The fork works every time. See? It's fine.
You don't
I think
know
it depends on the French fry. Like, what if you get some of those floppy old McDonald's French fries? Like, the Frork doesn't work anymore like that.
Yeah, it does. It's for sopping up. It'll hold.
I guess so.
I think you don't know
Sometimes
because
you
you
have to
haven't
go
used
fork
it.
wrong. If they're too floppy, if they're too flaccid, you got to go 4 in there to hold them in,
Right.
and you can't go 3-prong. Now, what I like is
I thought we were talking about video games.
We are. I compared it to Mass Effect.
Right.
That's how I brought it back around.
I know you did. I heard. I just ignored it because,
That somehow makes it better.
again, thought you were intelligent. Turns out you're not. I get it.
Jealous. So upset about the jealousy. I rolled over 100 hours in Zelda,
Awesome. Congratulations.
so I'm now ready to defeat Ganon and decide if I'm going to go after all 120 shrines and decide if I'm going to stick around for the DLC. I think I'll have a better idea once I beat him and see how I feel about that process.
The DLC's looking great. I'm thinking about the season pass.
It's
even
looking
though
really
I'm,
good.
Yeah, I'm only like 30 hours in, so.
So fun fact, the only way to get the DLC is Season Pass.
Right.
You can't just buy one because they're greedy.
Yeah.
And you get that sweet Nintendo Switch shirt for Link
Right. Which is worth it.
as soon as you pre-order. So that's not a bad deal. Still playing the mess out of that.
Stop it.
100 hours. Long. That was my goal.
236 hours of Mass Effect.
How long?
Jesus. Has that game even been out 236 hours?
Barely. He took half a night off to play Deformers
I did.
and then right back into Mass Effect.
Right.
I've been really maxing out multiplayer, though. I'm up to like a 4,000 Apex rating now, so.
All right. You're out. Cat, you're out.
I don't know what that means. It
I
sounds
know.
like a lot.
I know.
Sounds like a high number. If you start at 1, it sounds like a real high number.
It's probably better than average for what people are playing multiplayer.
What's baseline? Like, where do you start?
You start at 0.
And you're at 4,000?
Yeah.
That sounds like a lot.
But you get certain Apex missions for all the multiplayer you do, for different strike missions. You can send, because you can buy teams and send teams out on strike missions. So you don't play them.
It's like Metal Gear 5's multiplayer.
Yeah, it's kind of like an in-game app. Where actually you can access it from the Apex HQ app. And you can and you earn points that way. But
that's exactly like Metal Gear 5's their little meta game that they had in there, where you're building, like, as you play the game, you're building up this team that you go to the meta game and you send them out so that you get resources and money.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So, but I've been playing it. I play it a few hours a day, and you figure an average match takes 20 minutes. I'm finally getting to the point, though, because the levels go bronze, silver, gold, platinum for the levels of multiplayer that you want to play. Level horde mode. And I've just been kind of getting my bearings and stuff in bronze. And I'm finally to the point where I'm pretty consistently coming out number 1 or 2. So I'm getting ready to move up to silver, which is more experience, more Apex points, more credits, which means you start opening up the cooler boxes.
Mm-hmm.
What do you do with the Apex points? Open up boxes?
The credits.
But what do you use the credits for?
You open up the boxes and then you get the cards. Random, 5 random things, but it ranges from like common, rare, ultra rare,
equipment?
Uncommon equipment, boosters,
Gotcha.
guns. You can level up your guns. Each gun has a rank from 1 to 10, so you can level those up.
Mm-hmm.
And the different boosters do different things. You also level up the characters that way. You also earn the experience points to obviously get their powers like a normal RPG. So
Sounds interesting.
you don't have to make me feel good, Ryan.
I'm not. It just reminds me a lot of the Frork. That's all.
I'm sure I knew that was coming.
Did you?
Matt, what have you been playing? Let's just ignore Ryan.
Mario Kart 8, which is super fun.
Never heard of it.
And if you've got a Switch, you probably own it because it's one of the only games that's a big name game. Puyo Puyo Tetris, which is incredible, and Ricky actually became addicted to that by playing the demo, and so she grabbed that for us. It turns out I'm a Tetris master. I've beaten marathon mode like 15 times now, undefeated online.
I want to point out that he's only playing early morning when the children are on.
Okay.
I'm playing while I'm at work because that's the only time I have to play.
Early morning when the children are on, because if you come out at night...
I was actually just going to mention, Ryan, weren't you the guy who was saying that you suck online?
Well, I've also been clear that I'm not good at Tetris this whole time.
Right.
But if you come out at night when the freaks are online, you're going to put some L's in that column.
I mean, I'll try it out, dude. I beat ass at Tetris, though. I beat everybody at wrestling last night. I beat ass at Tetris.
You're playing grandmas and children during the day, though.
Yeah, but I'm playing 20 to 30-year-old boys at wrestling, and I'm beating their asses too. I'm pretty damn good at it, dude.
Yeah, but they're not familiar with the system. You got to get online with somebody familiar with the system.
Oh my god!
I don't know,
hours.
Matt has recently proven to be the Rain Man of certain types of games.
Yeah, but this ain't it though. This isn't the one. Deformers now, yes.
Deformers is a fluke, I swear.
Yeah, the force is strong when you play Deformers for some reason.
It's wild. I wish I was that good at anything else.
Yeah, it's weird. That's the one you decided to be good at.
Yeah, I know.
I know.
Really,
It pisses me off so bad.
Right.
I know.
But
oh, Jesus.
I don't feel that way about Tetris.
So, anyway, Tetris, right? It's fine. I can't put my Switch down. I've played Grand Theft Auto to earn money a little bit, but the Switch has some incredible games. Mr. Shifty and Graceful Explosion Machine have my attention. I can't find anything that hasn't come out in the past week that I don't want to buy. There's even a Hyperlight Drifter knockoff for $5 that I'm thinking about buying. I don't know, man. I think the Switch, it is something special. It is something very special, and I will be very surprised if Nintendo doesn't follow it up with something even more successful.
Get another one. Buy 2.
maybe. I bought a set of blue controllers and a pro controller for. I dropped like $200 on just controllers one week. Embarrassing amounts of money on extra stuff for my Switch. I'm very invested in it in a way that I didn't think I would be. I thought I would have it. It'd be fine. We'd play some multiplayer and I'd be done. It's great. The only thing that I think I may have some frustration with is if we ever line up to play Mario Kart together, the fact that we can't chat through the system, I think might bother me.
I think the ass whooping you might take would also bother you.
Oh, dude, I suck at Mario Kart. Let's be real clear.
Yeah, I'm above average, I would say. So
here's something I can't figure out about Mario Kart. And this is probably just because the last one I played was on Nintendo 64. It's baby mode, and I can't figure out, like, you can't run off the side of the track. If you drive towards the edge of the track, it just steers you, like, full speed. Like, there's no reason to steer the cart,
I've
ever.
heard, and this is all speculation because I didn't go look for it, I've heard you can turn that off in this one.
I cannot find it anywhere.
Yeah, I haven't looked. I've heard, though, that you can turn that off. I don't know if you can turn... See, they used to have auto drift as an option. I don't think they have that anymore, but I do think they have where you can turn the don't run off the track mode off.
They really need that. And also, I can't... So, shortcuts. You used to be able to just drive on the shortcut, but now it's like you have to have a boost or something because it won't let you run off the track intentionally.
Right.
So if you don't have a mushroom to boost, you can't use the shortcut. And if you're in any position above first, any position above fifth, rather, you never get the mushroom. So there's no way to use the shortcuts. And if you race online, all they do is use the shortcuts, and I can't figure out how. So there's really no reason to race online unless you're going to use shortcuts exclusively.
Sounds like you need to pick up the strategy guide.
To me, it seems like online shortcuts shouldn't exist, and you should just have to race the track pure because the power-ups are bad enough.
The power-ups are a son of a bitch.
Yeah, they are, and the power-ups make the game fine and frustrating enough, but when you add the shortcuts to it, like 2 laps of somebody running just the shortcuts, you cannot catch them. There's no amount of blue shells in the world to catch them before they finish the third lap.
I'm all about a game rubber banding to keep everybody together, but when you're in first and you get hit with 2 blue shells in a row and then 3 red shells in a row, and you're like, why the fuck am I even playing this?
Yeah.
Because now I'm in last. And what do I pick up? A fucking coin or a goddamn banana peel.
There's a little bit too much overpowering in the power-ups. Like, the handicap's a little bit too much for anybody who's not in first.
Yeah, that game's still great, though.
There's no racing ability involved. It's all about power-ups, and you could tape the A button down and just let it run into the wall. The whole thing, and
it would finish still.
Way.
You would be last, but it would finish.
Yeah, it's really weird. Like, I have my complaints about the game, but it is fun. Battle mode's great. The balloon mode's fantastic.
Yeah, I enjoy a good Mario Kart.
Man, you okay?
Sounds like you don't enjoy sleeping.
Well, stayed up too late. And that's what happens.
I'm a little pissed off, too,
League?
because I looked. Something's going on with my app on my phone, because I was checking to see if anybody was on, and it kept telling me no.
It sounds like shenanigans, because I was on.
That's why I'm a little upset with my app.
And you definitely were not.
No, I definitely was not. I was waiting to see if someone was on before I got on.
Yeah, from like 9:30 to 2:30. On, willing and ready. Yep.
Fucking Sony.
Sounds like you're about to transform.
Sony's getting ready. Sony's pulling a Nintendo.
Wow.
Fucking
Video
shit
chat.
up.
Voice chat's going strictly to phones.
Wow.
Strictly to mobile devices. Let's talk about our first story.
Okay.
We may not have much to say here. I just kind of thought this was a neat idea, and I wanted to throw it out there for our listeners in case they wanted to support it. But the idea that video games can help with depression and other forms of mental illness is not uncommon, and a nonprofit organization, Checkpoint, hopes to explore the relationship between video games and mental health in greater detail. So they already work in this space, but what they're wanting to do is actually create a video series to improve the awareness of the different mental health issues and act as a tool using actual scientific data to back up and the impact that video games have on those particular illnesses. They have a Kickstarter they've launched. You can go over there if you want to support them. They're looking for a goal of $40,000. I think that's right.
Yes.
$40,793. They're currently at $14,397. I just think this is interesting.
They were almost to 15 this morning.
Yeah, I think this is interesting. I think there is obviously a link in that they can aid with things like depression, or maybe they can make it worse. I don't know. Not someone who suffers from it, but it seems like it would be something that would be beneficial if you found that outlet to kind of deal with your emotions. And I would be interested in learning more about it because I don't suffer from it.
Yeah, I can tell you that video games have kept me from going off the deep end many times.
Video games send me the opposite direction with my depression, so I'm curious to see how this study turns out too. Sometimes if I'm in a funk, like if I'm on a couple of days of just feeling like, like nothing I do is right and I'm starting to get depressed and I sit down and play a video game, all I can think about is how worthless I am and how much time I'm wasting. So
that never happens to me.
That happens to me more often than not.
But I think that's interesting, and I would like to see, their plan is to have big time developers speak to, their thoughts on it if they consider it when they're developing, and doctors on there. It just seems interesting, and it's something I would like to watch the final product of.
Yeah. Well, every person's different, so I think it's really cool that this study can show that for certain types of depression and mental health issues, video games are a reliable outlet. Where for me, it's working out, exercise, but for Dan, it's playing a video game, something that stimulates your mind no matter what.
For me, it's a coping mechanism. It's how I calm myself and relax myself after the stupidity of people throughout my day.
And for me, it's the opposite.
Come home and beat my wife or kick my dog or whatever. I play video games and I feel better about it.
I can definitely see a difference in my attitude when I go 3 or 4 days without playing.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
But it's just it is for me. It is that outlet to relax, and it's not a depression thing, or at least I don't think it is. It's just a way for me to relax, and when I don't get that, it's the same as people not getting to do the thing that they do to relax, watch TV or go to the movies or get a massage, whatever it is. Like, that's how I do release that. So I can kind of see where you're coming from. But
I do want to be clear too. If I didn't have video games, I wouldn't come home and beat my wife and kick my dog. I would have to. I would find another outlet. But
too late, dude.
You know what I mean, right?
To back up on that comment,
you guys know what I mean. It's a cope. It's a way to cope as opposed
I
to
chose to move on because
some of the other ways, people.
I don't want to go to court.
You're not going to go to court because I'm never going to beat my wife
unless your video games go away,
right? And then who knows?
Which won't happen.
Then it's a coin flip: the dog or the wife.
It's all about the future. Yeah.
Yeah, I think since PS3 and since multiplayer really took off with that generation of consoles, it's more about being social for me and less about being isolated. The more isolated I am in some games, the more that depression level comes to mind. But when we play games together, it never crosses my mind. I have a great time.
Right, but and see, I think for me and Ryan, in a certain sense, it's almost the opposite.
Right, you deal with people all day.
We have to deal with people all day, and we come home. We almost crave that isolation of just us and what's going on the screen and what we're control. We're in control of. Neither of us are really control freaks. We're both pretty zen about. It is what it is.
I'll say Ryan's a control freak for sure.
I don't think so. I think Ryan likes to control the things that he knows he can control, and otherwise he doesn't care. Me, I don't care to control anything. I have no need to control anything. But I'm very zen about life, and it's my meditative time, is to sit in front of my video games and play. That's why a lot of times when I go online, I don't have a headset on. I don't want to talk.
Yeah.
And obviously that's not all the time. There are times when we talk and hang out and get on, but for the most part, I would say I'm more of the just me and my computer.
So I'm looking at their Kickstarter. I'm trying to see what if and when they hit their goal, what their
it's a web series.
When do they expect to start delivering information?
I don't think we'll know more until they get to the end.
Yeah, I don't think they say so either. It says that. I don't see much now. A lot of their a lot of their goals and a lot of their like pledge promises are for this year.
Mm-hmm.
So I would assume that with their Kickstarter ending in 30 days, that they're probably looking to launch the series in 2018. I would guess. So probably record or gather information, do their studies for the rest of the year. I don't know. I'm very curious to see how this goes, though.
Me too.
They have some pretty cool stats up here too. So if you head over to their Kickstarter, it says mental health issues account for 14% of all health issues globally, which is a pretty crazy stat. And then of those affected by mental health issues, 2 in 3 never seek help or treatment, which is super sad. But it'll be cool if there's some general information out there that grabbing a video game can help you out.
Well, and I think they need to be careful too. They're getting ready to kind of, I think, walk a fine line. That they don't become a tool for people to try to self-diagnose, like a WebMD type thing or something. That's not what the site's about. I think they need to be very careful to make that very clear. That
right.
We are about recognition and coping of certain attributes. We are in no way an answer to your problem.
I agree. I think this is interesting. I think it's interesting on a lot of different levels. I think it could go the wrong way. I think it can go the right way. I would like to see this project funded so I could just get what information they have.
See what happens with it.
Right. And I'm going to end. You guys have anything else?
No, there's just some really crazy stats on here. Go look at this Kickstarter. This is really, really interesting.
I'll end with this. If you or someone you know is affected by mental health issues, don't hesitate to contact one of the services listed on Checkpoint's global awareness. Is that what it's? Global mental health directory. Because playing a video game, probably not a replacement for an actual doctor.
Right.
Having said that, you should continue to play video games, though.
Always.
I just want you to understand, at the very least, that we are not physicians or qualified to hand out any mental health advice. I just find this interesting.
Yeah.
And obviously, if you found something that works for you that's not killing people or beating your wife and or dog, you should probably keep doing that. You know, some people put together puzzles. You know, there's a lot of different outlets. Some people have the Zen garden.
There is a lot of different outlets, yes.
Some people masturbate like crazy.
Man,
you know,
oh my God.
Chronic masturbation. And is that a
like
problem?
working that penis all day.
I don't know.
Got his hands on a hard one all day.
I don't think that's ever a problem.
It is if it's getting in the way of things.
Right. And then it becomes an obsession.
If you got to dip off in the bathroom at Walmart to finish one off.
Sexaholics Anonymous, SA? Is that what it is?
Right. Which is just a place for you to meet people who are just as much freaks as you are. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that.
No, don't be making fun of that. That ain't right.
I'm not making fun of it. I'm saying there's nothing wrong with it.
Actual diagnosis. This is an actual diagnosis.
Dan.
It is a thing.
Back up with the doctor speak. Back up with it. We're not physicians. People like to fuck. It's not a disorder.
It's a thing.
Right.
Yeah. Like
What's
handsies.
better? Yeah, I can't think of anything better for somebody who can't get enough sex than another person who can't get enough sex. It seems like, they just go together.
Well, see, I base this off of I have a friend that went to rehab and then went to a halfway house and told me a halfway house was the most beautiful thing ever because it was a house full of people who enjoy drugs. And that's not to make light of drug use, but also I think sex works the same way. You put yourself in a room full of people who can't control their urges, it sounds like a fine time.
Right.
It sounds like there's definitely a fuck party at Waffle House after the meeting. And that sounds okay.
Yeah, we definitely have an issue when I am the most sane one in the fucking conversation.
It's going to happen sometimes.
I don't see an issue at all.
I get it. I see.
All right.
I
don't
see
an
that you
issue.
don't. I understand
Yeah,
that you don't have see an issue.
I'll tell you who did have an issue, Nintendo. A fine-ass segue. It turns out that they got a little crazy when it came to meeting demand for the Nintendo Switch. So crazy that they put them on a fucking plane and flew them to the destination they were heading to, which is not typically how they do it. They do it by ship. And they haven't specifically said how many they did this way, but they did send them via plane to what looks like North America and Europe to meet the launch demand of 2 million units. And it adds about $45 per unit to their cost.
That's crazy.
So they're probably cutting out what profit they have by doing this. But it does show me that there's a small, tiny, baby amount of hope for Nintendo.
And that they maybe care just a tiny bit about their consumer.
They
Not
actually
enough to
tried
make
to
me fucking buy one.
They actually
Don't get
tried
ahead
to
of
get
yourself.
as many as they could out.
Yeah, they're on shelves now.
Yeah.
Like, you can walk in and buy a Switch now, which is awesome. You can get the gray Switch or the red and blue Switch.
Well,
I haven't walked
Maybe
into
where
a
you're
store
at, you
this
still
week.
can't get one here.
In Chattanooga, there's like, you can go get one anywhere. It's
Yeah,
awesome.
I saw one yesterday at a Walmart. I was grocery shopping, and I was like, huh, look at that.
Yeah.
I didn't even
And maybe
debate
it's-
this time. I just walked away.
Maybe it's the area. There's still not any here. And I went pretty much everywhere yesterday, not looking for that, but I did look when I was there, and they're not anywhere. But it does seem like they're more available. But I do like the tiny amount of hope that it gives me that Nintendo thought, it doesn't matter if we lose money, we have to get these two people because we said we would.
Right.
And that's surprising because normally they'd be like, well, fuck it. They'll like it even more if they can't have it.
Yeah.
If you can't get it in people's hands while it's hot and while it's being talked about, then it's worthless.
Right.
Hopefully they've understood that finally.
We both know they probably haven't.
God, probably not. But hey, they do have Nintendo Switch accessories in stores, and there are Switches in stores, and there are games in stores.
They
So,
do appear to be trying.
yeah.
With everything except for the Amiibo, they seem to be making a real effort to get them in store.
Maximum
the
effort,
Amiibo are
Nintendo.
worthless.
Maximum effort.
Yeah. They can probably only make so many things at once. Like, I get it. They can't make everything. And it seems that they focused on the right thing. There's no shortage of games. Like, no, I didn't hear of anyone that couldn't get Mario Kart that wanted it.
Yeah, no, me either.
Yeah.
You know, they seem to be doing a good job with that.
Do you ever wonder if some of it is in their minds? The Switch is almost like a last-ditch effort to stay relevant. So they have to do this at this point in order to do that.
I think that they think that the market is there are Nintendo people and there's everybody else, and the Nintendo people are such a small percentage that they only have to cater to that. They don't think about the extra people they have to. They don't think that as many people from the other areas are going to draw into their product. And you would think after doing this 1,000 times they would realize that. Maybe they're just not getting it. I don't know.
I don't think that they think that, and I don't think that they... I think a lot of critics, a lot of consumers think this might be their last shot. I don't think they ever thought that. I don't think they think that now. Nintendo is stay the course.
I don't think that either, but I guess my question is why now? They've been playing the same Nintendo game for 25, 30 years. Why now are we going to do things different to make it look like we give a shit about people?
It doesn't seem so much like a saving throw to me. It seems more like a correction on the misstep of the Wii U.
Yeah,
this is what the Wii U was supposed to be.
I don't think this could be the last Nintendo console, but I think they're very aware that they need a win. And I think maybe that's where you see some of the effort come along.
Okay.
Is that they know they need a win, but it's not the end either way, in my opinion, but they do need a win. They've been here before, though. I mean, the GameCube flopped hard, and then they came back with the Wii. Like, they've been here before with that kind of thing. It's not uncharted territory for them, and I think there's not a level of panic over there, but I do think they all understand this needs to be successful, or they're going to have real talks about what comes next.
The Switch is a very, very, very game-changing console, and I think that with this system, if you line it up against the Xbox One and the PS4, I think this is probably the most relevant console in where games are going in the future and where consoles are going in the future. I think that probably the coolest thing about it, so normally you get a handheld, you got a Vita, you've got a DS, a 3DS, something like that. People see you playing it, they're like, hey, what's that? You tell them what it is, they go, oh, that's cool, it's video games. When you bust the Switch out, people are like, what is that? Show me how it works. You pop the controllers off, and they're like, what the fuck? And you hand them one, and you're like, now we're playing two-player. They're like, this is insane. Like, it really does draw people in. Last night we were playing, and it was just me and a friend playing Tetris. So I had the console, I was playing Tetris, and he came over and said, hey, let me play. I popped the controllers off and handed him one, and a couple people saw us do that, and they all walked over and go, what the fuck is this thing? And then there's 10 people standing around, and we're tossing controllers around playing Tetris, and then I just slam them back on and play one player and put it up. And people are like, well, what else can you do with this thing? And I'm like, oh, you just set it in the dock, and it's on the TV too. And they're like, you're insane. That can't possibly be how this video game works. And like awareness of the Switch isn't there, but it definitely, the console is designed so that awareness happens by word of mouth, which is really weird because Nintendo's huge. And in our echo chamber, everybody knows about it. But when you take it out in public, a lot of people don't know what it is. And the console sells itself, but they got to have them there for people to buy. It's definitely revolutionary in a way that like the Game Boy was, or that like the Nintendo 64 was. This is that console that like changes shit. Yeah.
I do want to throw this out there before we move on to our next Nintendo story. The one thing about the Switch that makes me so mad, and I can't figure out why, is changing games.
Like taking the cartridge out?
Yeah, something about it makes me absolutely furious every time.
Really?
In a way that I like can't even put my finger on. Like when I have to switch games, I get like actually mad.
Now, I found that it's very hard to switch a game while it's in the dock.
Yeah,
if it's in handheld mode, it's right there. It's easy. But when it's in the dock, having to like pull that little flap open, press down, and get the game out and put another one in, that takes a level of coordination that I don't have.
I never minded on the Vita. Like, it didn't bother me like it does on here. Like, I get mad about it. I got to get the fucking case out. I got to find the game. I got to take this one out.
So do you think that you would be more willing to go digital on...
No, that's not the answer.
I only have 3 physical games, and I have like 12 digital games. For digital, it's a fantastic console because you just press a button.
I have five physical and 1 digital.
Yeah, the majority of my games are digital, and 32 gigs I didn't think would be enough, but it really is. It's plenty.
That shit'll be filled up next week.
No, I still have more than half of the console available after putting Puyo Puyo and all that stuff on there. I Am Setsuna, Puyo Puyo, Graceful Explosion, Mr. Shifty. Then I've got Zelda, Mario Kart, Binding of Isaac. Like, there's a lot of stuff on my console. A lot.
I don't know. I don't know what it is. Maybe I'll calm down about it. But right now, every time I switch a game, I'm upset with everybody.
I also thought I would really hate that it didn't have like social media and YouTube and stuff. Couldn't give a shit. It's for playing games. They nailed it.
You guys remember the Nintendo PlayStation?
Way back when, yeah.
Way back when. So this was a failed project, a failed partnership with Nintendo and Sony. Nintendo ended up going with Philips, and they made the CDI, and that thing sucked. And Sony ended up making the PlayStation, so it really all worked out in the end. They made 200 prototypes. It was thought that all 200 were destroyed. In 2015, a Reddit user posted an image of a Nintendo PlayStation that he had found somewhere. It didn't really work. It would boot up. It had some issues. The disk drive didn't work. Well, that has changed. It is now functional. Ben Heckendorn. Is that right? Heckendorn?
Yeah, something like that.
That's the guy.
Yeah, Ben Heck in his newest video on YouTube actually showcases him getting the system, I'll say, functional. There are no games for this, so everything that they run is homebrew, some sort of emulation for this. Nothing is built for this. So it does appear to work, but it's not perfect because nothing is made for this thing. But it is cool to see it existing and see it working probably the way it did way back then. And it's a piece of history. It should really be in a museum somewhere.
Yeah, it's really cool. The best part about the Ben Heck show is Felix, the assistant, if you've never watched. He should be on your subscription list for YouTube for sure. He makes like Ben Heck, if you don't know, he's the guy who takes like an Xbox One and makes it into a laptop, or right. He makes like the controllers for people who only have one functioning hand, or he did like a monster console that was the PS3, the Xbox 360. It was like 5 consoles all smashed into one box. You could just put a disc in a different tray and make it work. He does some really, really cool console mods and hacks. But he also gets really cool projects like this every once in a while. And it's really awesome to see a PlayStation console. Like it has Sony and Nintendo branding, and it has the PlayStation logo, and it has a disc drive, and it has a cartridge tray, but it uses like a Super NES controller to play. It's really cool to see.
It is a freak of a console that looks absolutely awesome.
Right. It kind of looks like the Nintendo 64 with the CD expansion across the bottom.
Yeah.
It kind of looks like that, but it's that Nintendo like milky milky yellow
that
color.
gray that fades to yellow.
Yeah. It's
that
really
old
cool.
plastic. That early 90s, late 80s plastic.
Yeah, he goes through some of the debug menus and some of the function that the console would have had. It's really cool.
Yeah, it's neat to see that thing existing and working. Activision. What has he got something for that?
Well, I was going to say, to go along with that, we actually had a question this week that came in from our newest Patreon subscriber, Thomas Barfield. And to just in the past 2 conversations here, he said, when do you guys think that consoles are going to start being modular? And his example is like interchangeable graphics cards, interchangeable RAM, CPU, stuff like that. We talk about this usually right around a console launch. But you guys want to weigh in on that? Do you have any timeline or expectations for something like that?
I'll make a heavy-handed prediction. Not this generation, that's the next generation, but the one after that. Mm-hmm. So do 2 generations from now. And I think you see some form of it on the next one, but I don't think it's all the way there.
I'm with Ryan. I agree 100%. Not this generation. This next upcoming generation, the one after.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I
think yeah. Well, go ahead. Yeah.
I think it has to happen either way, though.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I actually thought it would be with the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One, so I will predict the next generation because I think it's overdue. I think we already see it with the hard drives being swappable. I think the next thing that we see swappable, because there's the PlayStation 4 Pro and the PlayStation, the Xbox One, the Xbox One S, I think the next thing that we start seeing is interchangeable graphics cards. I don't think the CPU is ever going to necessarily need to be upgraded in these things because the CPUs in these are very, very powerful. But the GPU could totally be... You could probably get 3 GPU cycles in a console. RAM, they're usually plenty of RAM in one. But hard drives and video cards, I think, are going to be on the next console generation for sure. And like we've always said, they just got to make it simple. It's got to be... It can't be like PC. Like, it will be like PC, but it can't be as complicated as PC.
Right.
They just have to say, we have these 3 levels...
Plug and play.
...of... card, right? And it's plug and play. And I think for PlayStation 5 and whatever the fuck the next Xbox is called,
Xbox One, too.
Xbox One 2. I think it's 100%. Like you should count on that.
It has to be that way.
Mm-hmm.
You were just talking about it. It has to be easy. It has to be for dum-dums like me to go in a store and see 1, 2, and 3 and know that because 3 costs more than 1, it makes it better.
Right.
Yeah. Without knowing anything else. It has to be, I open an expansion bay on the side, I slide one out, I slide another in, and I'm finished. It has to be easy like that. And
it also has to be very careful to, you can make the graphics look better, but you have to keep the gameplay on an even playing field.
Yeah,
I think.
Well, and that's the thing. It's just like PC,
and that's why you don't change the CPU.
Right, the console comes out with the minimum specs. The game will run at the minimum specs, but if you max it out, all it does is look prettier. It doesn't necessarily run better. It just looks prettier, and that's all it's ever going to be. There's never going to be a leap in gameplay or a leap in functionality,
right?
Because then you're talking about a new console,
right?
But in the console cycle, like, you should definitely have an Elder Scrolls game come out, and at the base level it looks one way, and then when the new graphics expansion comes out, you can plop it in, and that Elder Scrolls game can look better.
Yeah.
Just like PC gaming, I think count on it on the next console generation. I think unless what we were just talking about with the Switch, unless the Switch is so revolutionary that everybody else follows suit, which I don't think is very likely, I think that's where it's going. And I think the PS4 Pro and the Xbox One S are very, very indicative of that.
What do we got next? Brian, are you sleeping?
Nope.
Wake
just
up,
thinking. Bitch. I'm just thinking. I'm just wondering.
I know better than that.
I'm wondering what that costs. Like, I'm wondering how expensive that gets.
Console at the $399 price point, and then you get the base video card expansion with that.
Is it $300 for the highest one? Is it
No.
How?
I think.
Well, see, it's different though. You can't say, well, like the PC. This would be like the console, and on a console they love to nickel and dime you to death.
Yeah, I would think $199 for the highest expansion.
In all honesty, we won't have an idea until it happens, because it's going to be such a new invention to this that they're going to be able to do what they want and then make changes as they see fit.
Right. There is no pattern for this yet.
Right.
So, I guess my thought is, is it going to cost me $1,000 to have the best? But then their marketing is that, but you can get one for $400.
Well, I mean, that's what the PlayStation 4 and the PlayStation 4 Pro is, right? You can get one for
it's not so
$250,
drastic,
but
though.
for $400, yeah. But I mean, I think when you have interchangeable GPUs and stuff like, it's not going to be drastic. It's not going to be like going from PlayStation 5 to PlayStation 6 by spending $200. It's going to be like, hey, the anti-aliasing looks a lot better on this one, and the smoke and lighting effects look a lot better, but the game it's the same game still.
Right.
I think for PC gamers that mental thing is a lot less of a leap than it is for people who don't regularly play on PC.
Thanks for the question, Thomas.
Yeah,
interesting.
Thomas.
Let us know what you think. Podcast at Gamestitch.com, Twitter at Game_Stitch, or hit us up on Facebook, as Thomas did, and let us know. I mean, it's interesting to think about, and there's no right or wrong answer. So maybe next generation, maybe the one after, maybe 17 later.
It may never happen. Yeah,
may never happen. As part of Activision Blizzard's latest earnings report, they released some fun facts, and I thought a lot of these were pretty substantial. Overwatch is now a $1 billion a franchise in their portfolio. It is their 8th $1 billion franchise.
Wow.
It's huge.
Huge. Also, it reached 30 million registered players faster than any franchise in Blizzard's history.
That's insane, too.
Wait, it's just going to get more wacky as I go along these facts. Hearthstone recently surpassed 70 million registered users, which is fucking incredible.
Yeah.
There's some fun facts about Call of Duty here. Yeah, people are excited about it. Mm-hmm. Same thing for Destiny, but those Hearthstones and Overwatch things are huge.
That's crazy considering that Activision Blizzard's portfolio also includes StarCraft, Diablo, World of Warcraft, like some huge fucking titles.
Well, here's the thing that I think Activision Blizzard's really good at, maybe more so than just Activision. But when Blizzard seems to be involved, they seem to support their properties for very well for a very long time. They support them consistently over long periods of time. That gives those games longevity, and it constantly allows for new players to be introduced to it. Because World of Warcraft is, how old now? 12 years?
Oh, more than that, buddy. They're shooting for 20
years?
Pretty soon. Yeah,
And
they're getting up there.
It's the concept of what that game is so simple, but it can bring in new people to this day. That's what longevity does for you. That's what consistency of a franchise does for you. Instead of constantly changing it every time, you need to reintroduce everything. So I think Blizzard does. I think you're going to see Overwatch. Is going to be supported for a very long time as well.
It's that other. The fans trust Blizzard when they do that. Also, they see how much time and effort they put into a game and making sure that they cater to the fan base. And so when the next game comes out, people just jump on it immediately. There's no hesitation,
right? Because that trust has already been built.
They don't reinvent the wheel, but they do make a polished game that, you're right, is supported. Like, if you want to outline for how you should support your game, just look at pretty much everything they do. Mm-hmm. Especially Overwatch. Overwatch has been so planned out, and they've held to that, and they've stuck to that, and they've been diligent to make sure they don't miss their deadlines, and they announce at the right time, and they release their characters at the right time, and they test them before they bring them over, and they've done everything perfect when it comes to that game, and that shows in the amount of people that are still playing that game. And then they're so smart about the way they get players into their other games that, if you go play 5 matches of Heroes of the Storm, then you get a costume for somebody in Overwatch. That's
right.
Smart, because then you play Heroes of the Storm and you're like, I actually like this.
Yeah.
And then, now I got to go play this because I get something in this, and they constantly feed their own machine, and it's really smart, and they don't worry about it because they're sending people from good game to good game. Mm-hmm. It's not as if they're saying, hey, go play this bullshit.
Go play this piece of shit we just tossed up and
to get a skin. No, it's not that at all. It's like, go play this other good game that you probably haven't played, and you're like, oh, this is kind of neat. Maybe I don't hate MOBAs, or maybe I don't hate this or that.
Yeah.
It's just smart, and it's interesting to see a partnership that everyone thought would be the end of everything beautiful when they first got together. It's kind of thrived. They've done very well.
I thought Blizzard would go just a downward spiral when they partnered with Activision, and it's probably the best thing they ever did.
Well, here's the thing, and I think Activision needs to take a broader respect for this. Is they need to adopt more of Blizzard's tendencies for the things that they're getting ready to release on console. I think you're going to see Destiny 2 be supported in a completely different way than Destiny was. I think you're going to see more of that Blizzard model. I think you're probably going to see much more of a plan, much more polish. I'm pretty sure, because the first Destiny was pretty much fly by the seat of our pants. Okay, the people don't like this, let's change this. Okay, the people like this, let's add this. It didn't seem to be a plan. I think with Destiny 2, that's going to be completely different. I think they do have all of these moments planned out. I think they have already determined what their fan base is going to enjoy and have that plan to build on that.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting to see where Destiny 2 goes specifically. I think that is the one that you know what Call of Duty is going to be. You know, they're going back to their roots, but you know what that's going to be. You know how they're going to support it. But Destiny changed so much from launch to where we are now. It's very interesting to think where Destiny 2 is going to start at.
Yeah. And where it's going to go.
Yeah. I assume it will not take the same path as the first game. It'll start closer to their vision. Right.
Yeah, exactly.
And they'll be able to stay a little more true to that than having to adjust it to a game that people like.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that they could make that as big of a franchise as anything else here. And they might, it may already be a $1 billion franchise for them. I don't know. But I think Destiny 2 has the power to be around for as long as they want it to be around.
Mm-hmm. Me too.
And they just need to not Activision it so much.
More Blizzard, less Activision.
Yeah,
Who got all this Activision in my Blizzard?
Yeah, somebody spilled Activision over here. Like, I understand that they're all together, but there obviously are different feels. Call of Duty feels like Activision.
All right.
The moves feel like old school Activision, and you're like, stop.
Yeah.
And as long as they don't do that to a franchise, I think they have a really talented group over there. All of the people that work in, they can make a great product. Dan, do you want to take this next one?
Sure. The Video Game Hall of Fame this week inducted 5 games. Those 5 games were Donkey Kong, Halo, Combat Evolved, Pokemon Red and Green, and Street Fighter 2. Did I miss one?
No, Pokemon Red and Green are 2 games.
Oh, yes. That's right.
Yeah, Pokemon Red, Green, Street Fighter, Halo, and Donkey Kong.
And now I gotta tell you, this story pisses me off a little bit.
Why is that?
Because the Strong Museum, the Video Game Hall of Fame, is in Rochester, New York. Rochester, New York is right next door. I'm literally
skipping a jump from where you are.
I'm literally 30 minutes from there. And
a stone's throw.
I tried to get off for the announcement so I could be there because it was on the news and stuff, and I was like, that'd be some great, It's because I was going to wear my Gamestitch T-shirt.
Right, it's great chatter bait for our listener.
Right. But I wasn't able to get off to go to it. However, word on the street is May 25th is going to be the official induction. So I'm going to try to get to that, again, in my Gamestitch shirt, to promote us a little bit. No promises, I'm hoping to. But look for me on CNN, maybe.
Ooh, shit, CNN.
Ooh.
Fake news, you say. I would love to go, but it's not a stone's throw from me.
Right.
Yeah. It would be a very long journey.
Can we talk about the 12 finalists for this
I think we should.
Game? Because one of these stands out and is not like the other.
Do you want to run us through?
Yeah.
So in addition to the other 5, Final Fantasy VII, Mortal Kombat, Myst, Portal, Resident Evil, Tomb Raider, Wii Sports, and Windows Solitaire were all nominated.
I'm not gonna lie.
I think that list checks out. I think that list checks out.
Yeah, I do too. I think that's a legitimate
Windows
list.
Solitaire.
Who hasn't played it?
Nobody hasn't played it. I just don't like it's a video game, but I never thought of it. I thought of it not as it's like using the calculator.
Here's what it
What
is.
about, like, a
Here's
Minesweeper?
why it deserves entry and why it deserved its induction, or its proposed induction, is because
Nomination. Some people
nomination. Yeah, that's what I was looking for. I like mine better.
Introduction. Yeah, I got you.
My proposed induction.
Induction.
It would, for a lot of the casual gamer or the casual PC person, Windows Solitaire is what bridged that gap between using a PC and gaming on a PC.
Yeah.
That made them aware that, oh, you can do games on this. And then they start to explore the Minesweeper or the Spider Solitaire, and then other games popped up, and then it just grew and grew and grew, and so I think that's why that provided a bridge from the casual laptop PC user to the gamers. That provided that bridge.
It just blows my mind that there are 2 games on this list that my grandma could beat my ass at: Wii Sports and Windows Solitaire.
Well, maybe you should get her a copy of the Deformers.
Maybe she might be a natural.
Be like,
It runs
listen
in the
up.
family.
Man, I remember where you get it from.
Yeah.
All right.
So there was 2 previous classes for the Strong Museum's Video Game Hall of Fame, which included Grand Theft Auto 3, The Legend of Zelda, Oregon Trail, Pac-Man, Pong, The Sims, Sonic the Hedgehog, Space Invaders, Super Mario Bros., Tetris, and World of Warcraft. These
And
are
Doom.
all on permanent. Did I skip Doom?
You skipped Doom.
You did skip Doom.
Yeah.
How
Doom's
did
the
that
first one
happen?
on the list.
How'd that happen?
I don't
I
know.
don't know.
How is it the first? Oh, it is.
Yeah.
No.
Brother, you just skipped it.
Newsflash, Doom just made it in. Congrats to them.
Congratulations.
These are all on permanent display at the Strong Museum, and if you're up there, shoot Dan some sort of message. Maybe he can meet you there.
Yeah, there's a number of criteria that are used for these. That there's algorithms, and it's kind of like determining your raise for that year. You know how that works.
I love a good algorithm.
So there's all kinds of algorithms, icon status, longevity, geographical reach, impact on design, blah blah blah, all that. So these are like any other Hall of Fame or awards committee. There's really no rhyme or reason to what gets decided. It's not like it's just a popular vote type thing. But that being said, if you ever get a chance to go to the Rochester Strong Museum, you take that, because that place is fucking awesome. It's not just video games; they do have the video game Hall of Fame, obviously. You also have a copy of E.T. Out of the Landfill. I've seen it, and but it's a real cool place. If you've got kids, you'll love it. If you're a grown-up kid yourself, you'll love it. If you never matured in your own head into adulthood, you'll love it. There's a number of different things there, but it's a really, really cool place. And throw me a shout out at Shirtless Dan on Twitter if you're ever going to be up here checking it out.
All right. Before we go on to the next one, just to tie into that, Garrett Wade, Patreon supporter, good friend of the show, wrote into us on Twitter, just like you can at game_stitch, and says, what video game would you show your 10-year-old self? #AskGSP. He says that for him it would be For Honor, because he was a huge fan of games like Dynasty Warriors 4. Anybody have an answer for that?
Got one, Ryan?
I've got 2.
You go
if you'd
first.
like me to start. For me, it would be 2 of my favorite games of all time that have come out in the past 10 years. Thomas Was Alone by Mike Bithell and Heart Machine's Hyperlight Drifter. Those are 2 games that are very much in the style of games that I loved when I was a kid. Puzzle platformers with a cool story and adventure titles like Legend of Zelda. They would have just fit right into my gaming collection then. I think that's why I love them so much now. I guess if it had to be something more modern, I would have loved to explore a game like Firewatch when I was younger. Myst was a thing when I was 10, but I think it was less accessible. It wasn't made as Myst wasn't as broad of as an accessible game. Not that it was bad, but like that super in-depth puzzle story. I think Firewatch would have probably taken that genre and made it more popular earlier.
Ryan?
So probably, for me, it's probably something like Little Big Planet. to be able to explore like the creation tool as a small child, I think probably would have made my mind explode in a good way. And something like that, I think, would be very beneficial. You know, I'm glad that kids have it today, but, you know, there was really nothing like that back then. So I think that would be cool. Also, you know, most everything I play, I would love to show my 10-year-old self because I was just as weird about the things I played then. So,
right. Mario Maker would be a good one.
Mario Maker would be awesome. The idea that you could just make your own Mario levels probably would have shit my pants.
Yeah.
In the best of ways.
Mine is... You got to remember, I'm real old school. But the game that I would want to show my 10-year-old self would be Life is Strange. I didn't jump on the adventure game bandwagon until much later in life. And I didn't realize what they did for me. And this is only one aspect. The adventure aspect is only one aspect of the game. Together, I think the components still make one of the most perfect games I've ever played, with decisions affecting things in that. And I think Life is Strange would have given my 10-year-old self the best first example of what I love in games. Mm-hmm. And it would also, the problem is it would have set a very high bar. So I might be rich now from all the money I've spent on shit. So, but Life is Strange would be the game I would want to show to my 10-year-old self. I know you guys thought I was going to say Mass Effect.
No, I didn't.
No?
There's only about 3 games it could have been, though. Life is Strange, Mass Effect, and maybe Destiny.
I can't see him showing himself Destiny.
Maybe
I think Destiny would be a great game for when we were kids.
Maybe The Division.
Yeah, I mean, either one of those are pretty similar in gameplay style. I think the idea that it's a single / multiplayer game where there's an overworld, like, I think those would have been really cool when we were kids. I think anything that's online multiplayer would have been really cool when we were kids. Like, if I could have shown my 10-year-old self,
well, me too, but I would have had no idea what was
remotely.
going on because it was 1985.
Right, but let's take a game as simple as Deformers,
I'd
right?
Been like, fucking aliens! What's happening?
Right, but what if you could have had like Battle Tanks be a game that like we're all playing remotely? You know, like, I mean, that would have blown my mind.
Here's the thing, though, is I feel like it. Like I said, I'm probably taking this more literal than I should, but in 1985, showing me a multiplayer game, I probably would have had nothing to do with it because I couldn't wrap my head around it because it wasn't a thing. Because you can't explain it to anybody because it's not a thing.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I mean, that natural evolution of, like, couch co-op and then, you know, like...
Right, that has to happen.
That slow step up into, like, what the internet was and then edging that into games. Like, sure, that's cool, but, man, it would have been wild to think that we could play, like, Mario back and forth with you at your house and me at my house. The idea of not having to pack a console around when I was a kid... would have been...
Oh, yeah. I mean, we talked about... When I was a kid, we talked about how cool it would be, but it wasn't possible.
Yeah. Right. I mean, you talk about how cool it would have been to have, like, the tablet computers from Star Trek, too, and now all of a sudden we have cell phones to do that, so...
So, yeah, it's just... Oh, that'd be so cool, but it's just not possible. Right. It's never going to happen. You can't do that.
Wouldn't it be cool if you just had, like, a thing in your ear that worked just like a phone, and now there's Bluetooth, so...
Yeah, so...
Yeah.
So, yeah, mine was Life is Strange. Ryan's was Little Big Planet. And yours was Thomas Was Alone and Hyperlight Drifter.
Yeah. For sure.
Let us know what you think. Podcast at Gamestitch.com. Again, you can hit us up on Facebook or Twitter at Game_Stitch on Twitter. I think that's a great question.
Yeah, and I really do like that question.
I think you can go any direction with it, and I don't think there's a wrong answer. So it's cool to think like what you would show your 10-year-old self.
But it's also a really cool question because it does involve some thought.
Yeah, it does. I would also inform my 10-year-old self that handies are fine. You can just take those all day long if that's what you want
Your
to do.
10-year-old self wouldn't know what a handy is, dude.
Yeah, my 10-year-old self would have totally looked at me and said, "What?
What's a handy, bro?"
I've got 2
And you're
handies."
like, "Let me show you. It's not
Right.
cheating. Don't worry."
Oh, that's some Inception stuff if you give yourself a handy.
All right. I think it's also child molestation.
I think.
But is it child molestation if it's you?
I think at that point
No.
you actually break the time continuum. And,
Yeah, you do rip a hole in time though if you handy yourself.
I've seen Time Cop. I know what happens if you handy yourself.
It's just like that actually. It works exactly the same way. The last story here, and this is just a little PSA in case you guys want to request off. But here's the times that we have so far for press conferences for E3. So starting on Saturday, June 10th, EA, they're going to begin at 12 p.m. Central Standard Time, 3 p.m. Eastern. I specifically did not give out Central Standard Time there because I've been told that I'm a fanboy for Central Standard Time and I'm trying to make it fair.
Nice. Thank you.
Sunday, June 11th, we'll have Microsoft going at 2 p.m. Pacific and 5 p.m. Eastern. And Bethesda going that day. We don't know the specific time. It'll be in the evening after Microsoft. And then Monday is your standard Monday where we have the PC gaming show going first at 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern. It looks like Ubisoft will go early afternoon based off of last year's lineup, but they have not confirmed their time slot yet. And Sony, as always, will finish off at 6 p.m. Pacific and 9 p.m. Eastern on the 12th. So it's the same time slot for Sony. Microsoft has shifted, though, to Sunday.
So prediction show will be in... Do you want to do it 2 weeks out or the week before?
Probably the week before so that we can get all the leaks out of the way.
Mm-hmm.
So prediction show will be on June 5th, just so everybody's aware. That's, one, two, three shows. Well, it'll be the 4th show from this one. So make sure you tune in for that one so we can get all our E3 predictions
Important note,
out.
I will not be on for the EA one. Oh no, I will be. Wait, on the 10th. I won't be here June 10th.
Okay, so you won't be here on the
10th and 11th.
show where it's actually happening.
I won't be on the show where it's actually happening. I'll be on the following show. Yes.
Okay.
But the one
that's fine.
That weekend, it's my wife's 40th birthday.
Hey, congratulations to her.
It's really early to tell her.
It is.
You should wait till closer to time, Matt. And
Actually,
then tell her, not Dan.
Her birthday's actually on the 6th, but we're having the party on the 10th.
Yeah, so on the show for the 12th, are we going to cover the stuff from that Saturday and what's happened on that Sunday, or are we going to wait until the 19th and do a follow-up a week later?
No, I think we'll discuss what's happened, and on the next show we'll discuss maybe a recap and the stuff we missed.
Yeah. We'll get those predictions in for sure.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. But that's just an update for anyone who's not had a chance to check and wants to know when to be sick at work. You know.
Ooh,
yeah, get your predictions ready for that show in a few weeks. That way we can
read yours.
We'll read yours on the show also along with ours. That way we, as a community, will make the Gamestitch predictions.
It would almost be fun this year to do some sort of prediction, like a hard and fast predictions with a point system and see who wins.
Okay.
Because I like to think that we all think we know what's going to happen. And probably none of us are correct, so it would be fun.
I don't think I know what's going to happen at all.
Yeah.
I know exactly what's going to happen, so.
I know. We'll give you all the points, okay?
Just like...
You deserve them for buying that stupid Frork.
Just like last year, Nintendo does not have anything official planned, but they will be at the press conference. Or, excuse me, they will be on the show floor.
Yeah, I'm sure they're going to do a direct that weekend.
They'll at least do a treehouse stream of some stuff.
Yeah.
So, before we jump over to this next segment, I realize I forgot to change the name here.
Mm-hmm.
It's not actually my turn. But if nobody has anything ready, I will go.
I don't have one because I thought it was Matt's turn.
It is Matt's turn, but I forgot and left my name on it, so he didn't have a heads up.
That's okay. Let me see if I can come up with something. Let me think for like 2 seconds.
I'll do the intro, and while I'm doing that, you come up with something. Okay. If not, I do have a failsafe.
Okay.
It is time for Gone But Not Forgotten, where we reach back in our gaming past, we dust off an old gem, and we tell you about it. Sometimes it's not even that old, fun fact. Sometimes it's a newer game that we just want to talk about again. Our hope is that you'll at least check that game out, watch a video on it, see what you can find on it. If you can still find the original game, maybe you should do that. That would be cool. You can always let us know what your Gone But Not Forgotten title is on Twitter using the hashtag GBNF at game_stitch, or you can send it to us at podcast@gamestitch.com. Use GBNF in the subject line. Matt, did you think of one?
Yeah, so not an old game. These are from the PS2, PS3 era. It's a series of games. So with Deformers happening with the little squishy ball thing, I'm reminded a lot of the Katamari series. Beautiful Katamari, Katamari Damacy. Those
gem.
games, gems, and there are either people who have played them and loved them, or there are people who have never heard of them yet and will play them and love them. Beautiful Katamari on, I think that was PS3. That was the PS3 game. Easily one of the most fun games to like pop in the console when you got a bunch of people over, because it's goofy, the music's really good. It's really weird to roll up like dust bunnies and erasers, and then eventually sumo wrestlers, and then eventually like rainbows and hurricanes and shit. It's a great game, and the story is stupid, and I've always had a good time with them. I hope they make another one for PS4 for this generation.
So remember we used to have inside Hollywood Video. They had a game store.
Game Crazy.
Game Crazy. Yeah, at the time I'm playing games pretty heavily, but I'm not reading about them. I'm not knowing what's coming up. I'm just playing the things that look cool. I go there one day, and on the shelf I see Katamari.
Mm-hmm.
It's got some nonsense on the cover. It's got like a rainbow. It's got a fucking dairy cow. There's a big ball of shit behind it, and I'm like, what is this? And I bought it that day because I was so fascinated by what this might be. And it's a great, like, whimsical time. It doesn't make any sense. It's awkward. It's weird. It doesn't control
like
great.
shit.
Yeah, but it paved the way for a lot of weird things that I think we see now. And that game is incredible, and I do think it holds up exactly like it's supposed to.
Yeah.
So if it's something you can find, even if you can't find the original, like, you should play a Katamari game before you die.
Yeah.
Because
there's
there
a
is
cell
something.
phone, Touch My Katamari also.
Yeah, that's on Vita.
Yeah.
Also.
Oh yeah, Vita.
Yeah,
Not to be confused with a handy that Ryan loves so much.
Yeah, Touch My Katamari, very similar to a handy. You just grab it and see what sticks.
Incredible series of games, and it's so Japanese that it
is so Japanese.
It is very Japanese.
There's no like.
It's a hard Japanese.
Everything in that game feels foreign, and it's amazing all the way through. Everything's great. Just buy it and just love it. Good game, really good game.
Yeah, I agree. Great pick on the fly.
Thanks.
Way better than what I had ready, just so you know.
Cool.
Be sure to follow us on the social medias. I am at Podcast Ryan. Dan is at Shirtless Dan. Matt is at Goddamn Matt. And together we are at Game_Stitch. Follow all of us, some of us, none of us, whatever makes you happy. But if you want to be in the know, you should at least follow Game_Stitch. Check out our YouTube channel. There you can watch our first ever episode of Gamestitch Live that we did a couple weeks ago. A week ago.
Dumpster
I don't
fire
know.
doesn't even start to describe that one.
Yeah. Yeah, if you want to see the fire at maybe its hottest, like that blue fire.
Yeah.
No.
Where it's
that
so
white
hot.
fire.
We've done podcasts much worse than that live.
Oh, wow. Dan's throwing down the gauntlet over there saying not our worst work. Felt like it, though.
Did we Did we set the date for Gamestitch Live May? Did we set the date? Are we confirming that?
I don't think we set the date yet, so we just set it with us like 45 minutes ago.
Right. Is it okay to announce it?
I think it's fine.
Okay. So the next episode of Gamestitch Live obviously has been funded on Patreon thanks to our great supporters. It will be the last Thursday of this month, so it'll be on the 25th. We'll make an announcement on Twitter for the exact time, but go ahead and just block out that day, call into work, take a vacation day, whatever you need to do. Join us on youtube.com/GameStitch for Gamestitch Live May. That'll be May 25th. We will have a giveaway on there. We've hit our second goal for Gamestitch Live. We're going to give away some video game related trinkets. If you're not already subscribed to us on Patreon, it's patreon.com/GameStitch. if all you got's $1, throw it our way. That goes to help this community grow, helps us put great content out for you. It also gets you into the subscriber-only channel on Discord, where you can have some private meet and greet time with us. Also, join us on Discord, which is discordapp.com, and just search for our channel, Gamestitch. I think our Twitter account has a permanent link to it also, if you just want to get in there and talk video game shit or life shit with us.
Life shit. Also, I want to let everybody know the $2 envelope full of goodness, handmade goodness, is going to ship. Those will ship out when you're listening to this podcast. They'll already be in the mail. So look for those. If for some reason there's issues with the addresses, you should hear from us some way shortly, because those are ready to go.
And the April newsletter recap should be out within 48 hours of this podcast.
Right. So some updates there. Also, special shout out to Garrett Wade and Thomas Barfield for reaching the shout out level over on Patreon. We couldn't do it without you guys supporting us. Or we could, but we wouldn't be as happy.
We love you guys.
All the extra fun stuff.
We love you.
Yeah.
And
thanks, guys.
And I think we've been really clear about this, but in case we haven't, this show will always be free, and anything we make, we put right back into growing what Gamestitch is. So.
That's correct.
So you guys, if you ever have questions about what we do with the money, or if you want your money to go towards something specific, it's okay to tell us. It's okay to ask, because you are the reason that we grow it, and you help us grow it. So feel free to reach out to us and have those conversations. I think we're all open to having those conversations.
For sure.
Also,
Discord, Twitter, however you want to get in touch with us, that's fine.
Yeah, handsies, whatever you think.
Well, I don't know about that.
Special announcement from me.
All right.
In the past, I've discussed how I've been having some trouble with Twitch, my PS4, and, well, I finally come up with a solution. My Twitch channel is Shirtless Dan 75. If you tune to that on Wednesday, May 24th at 7 p.m. Eastern Standing Time, what you will see is that Shirtless Dan, a.k.a. this badass motherfucker,
Whoa.
finally playing Black Tiger.
Yeah! Life of Black Tiger. I've been waiting.
We will move this stream over to YouTube after.
Yep.
Yeah.
For anyone that can't be there
100%
live.
positive we'll feature it on Gamestitch Live.
And that's why we're doing it on the 24th.
And if there's a way, we might even host it on our Twitch channel, too.
Okay, if we can find a way to link them.
Yeah.
Like I said, I don't know what's going on, but I have Googled, YouTubed, messed around with it.
Yeah, we should be able to just link the broadcast on the Gamestitch Twitch also.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll figure out a way to make sure you guys have that content if you want it. We'll definitely tweet out the link for no matter where it is from our account on @game_stitch. So
that's one
keep
ad
up
I'm
with
super
us.
fucking excited.
Yeah, keep up with us on there. We got a lot of cool things coming for you.
Yeah.
Thanks for all the support, everybody. Thanks for listening every week. And thanks for just being sexy, you know? Thanks for looking good out there.
You're welcome.
Yeah, I wasn't specifically talking to you, but I wasn't not talking to you, Dan.
Oh, my bad.
So you take that compliment.
My bad.
I mean, that's what this show's about, making people feel good. Making them feel good. This has been episode 225 of the official Gamestitch Podcast. We'll never do another 225, so hold this one close to your chest. Love it. And throw it away when 226 comes out, because it's old.
Yeah.
And that's how you should treat your loved ones.
Unless handies are involved.
Wow. Jesus Christ.
Unless, handies will overrule old. So if you were going to be like you're too old, a handsy will. A year for every handsy rolls back.
Oh, I don't know if it's a year. That's putting a lot on a handy. I don't know a handy gets that much.
I think they're underrated is what I'm trying to tell you.
I know you do.
I think there's a mass market for them, and I think it's underutilized.
Obviously, according to the client list.
I just wonder why that no one ever offers that.
Well,
like no one's ever like, look, I'm not into the other stuff, but I'll do a handsy.
Because I
and
think
they're like,
in the eyes of the law, it is still technically illegal.
Is it though?
It is considered a sex act. Yes.
I don't think I agree with that, but
that's fine. The law doesn't care what you agree with.
Yeah, I'm not the police.
You can tell the police and the lawyers and the judge all that when you're standing in front of them all. I don't agree with that law. That's fine.
If I bump into someone's hand 3 or 4 times, like, is that a sex
3 or
act?
4 times, that's all it takes.
No, but that means
I'm efficient.
That means you have issues on your end.
Oh, there's no issues. You know what I'm saying? This has been episode 225. Thanks for joining us. It was our pleasure to serve you.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
I brought in that serving thing. New.
I like that.
It was new.
I like that. Very McDonald's of you.
It was.
Make it back to the